Hi everyone, thanks for being with me again. Glad to know that you could be here subscribing, hopefully, to my channel, joining with me in real commentary about the issues that matter to, hopefully, all of us. Now, I am really trying to get a sense of balance around something that's happened on Sky News recently and the comparison between the message that we're given on one network, a very powerful and, I hasten to add, very, very popular network, namely Sky. There's a lot of crazy people that tend to watch that channel, and they are relatively influential. So I'm here to challenge them as best as I can, because frankly, someone needs to be doing that, and I guess I'm the candidate. So subscribe to my channel, ring the bell for further notifications, do what you need to do in order to continue to get these commentaries. So I'm going to talk about one of my most favourite presenters, Sherry Markson, and it's just a brief incident where she talks about Albanese not getting access to Donald Trump, and then she starts to tell us how terrible China are and it's this fear-mongering thing that she does about why it is that we should be afraid of China rather than endeavouring to build a relationship with them that is beneficial to both of us. Because clearly, Sky News and the right of politics would prefer us to be at war with China than to be developing friendships or a relationship with them that's mutually beneficial. So they want us to hate China while they want us to celebrate and commemorate and to, find ourselves acquiescing to and giving into and celebrating Donald Trump, which is something I believe we should never ever do, because the man's a clown and a moron, and he's so destructive that he does very little to benefit the world in any particular way, in terms of no knowledge about geopolitics, know nothing about anything really. The man's a clown. But Sherry Markson and others on Sky News want to continually celebrate him for reasons that I still quite don't understand. But in this particular instance, Sherry's talking about Albanese not going to, or not meeting up with Trump, and about him now having a meeting this coming week, in fact, with Xi in Beijing. So this is what Xi has to say.
But first tonight, Anthony Albanese today confirmed he'll visit China this Saturday. This is truly astonishing that he's about to meet Chinese President Xi for the fourth time, while he still hasn't managed to secure a single meeting with the US president. The pair, in fact, have never met, despite Trump winning the election on November 4th.
And I just find it fascinating. How dare he? It interests me that China has been able to find the time and the space to meet with an Australian Prime Minister. And I wonder is that because China at least recognises that because we trade with them significantly and because we have the resources that they need, gas and oil and other things that we send to them, because we have those resources, the China then see us as being a beneficial partner. My guess is that they do, and they want to court that relationship because it's in their best interest, and we want to do the same for the same reason. Whereas with the United States, there is not the need to actually work with them in the same way, particularly because of the tariffs they're imposing on the rest of the world and the 10% they're imposing on us. So perhaps the relationship is different for the right reasons. But Sherry Markson is one of those people who just would not be able to ever recognise that.
Fourth, 8 months ago, 8 months. Here was Albanese pleased as punch to announce he's visiting China on Saturday.
I look forward to going to Shanghai, Beijing and Chengdu, which I will visit from Saturday. China's an important trading partner for Australia. 25% of our exports go to China.
This is deeply worrying. Let's not forget China's aggressive treatment of Australia over the past decade. It's taken foreign interference and espionage to new levels. It's repeatedly tried to interfere in our political system, our democracy, with covert influence operations launched to infiltrate our parliament. It's something ASIO Director General Mike Burgess has spoken about at length. There have been aggressive actions as well towards our military. This includes Australian Navy divers sustaining minor injuries after a...
And so she goes on. And we understand all of that. In some areas, China has not been our friend. But that doesn't mean that we should ignore them or that we should encourage some sort of aggressive behaviour towards them. It means perhaps that we need to find better ways of understanding each other. It seems diplomatically sensible, in fact, to try and develop a sustainable reputation about mutual respect than it is to do what Sherry Markson is suggesting, which is about being aggressive towards them. Now, I want to take us also to an article on the ABC which talks about what Sherry's trying to talk about, but gives it a different flavour, if you like. And I think this in particular is worth noting. So, Trump administration expresses regret for ditching Albanese meetings, says the headline. Foreign Minister Penny Wong says the Trump administration has expressed its regrets to her for missing a meeting with Prime Minister Anthony Albanese on the sidelines of the G7. The senator also said the US Secretary of State has recognised the importance of the AUKUS agreement to both nations during their 45-minute meeting, and that a demand made last month for Australia to lift its defence spending was not repeated. Mr Albanese is yet to meet face-to-face with the United States President Donald Trump 8 months since his election win, and has faced criticism from the coalition and from the right, as we've just noticed, for not pushing hard to meet with him earlier. The pair were due to meet in Canberra on that G7 meeting, but it didn't because Trump left. Senator Wong, who was in the United States for a quad meeting between the US, Australia, India and Japan, says she used talks with US Foreign Minister Marcus Rubio to discuss a future meeting between Mr Albanese and Mr Trump. He expressed his regret for the fact the meeting had to be rescheduled. I obviously said we completely understood. I think the world understands the President has a fair bit to do, given what was occurring in the Middle East, which is fair enough. The meeting comes as Australia navigates several issues that threaten to cause trouble domestically. The US openly demanded Australia lift its defence spending as soon as possible to 3.5%, about a $40 billion annual lift in current spending. And as we know, the government has refused to do that because they have other priorities around our taxes, you and my money. So, but that's a different perspective than the one presented by Sherry Markson, because the thing that frustrates me, I guess, about that type of reporting, the Sky type of reporting, is that the fear-mongering is intense. They want us to be hateful, resentful, fearful of another foreign country. They want us to, have a sense of this other country needing to invade us, when there's no indication whatsoever that that is likely to occur anyway. But that is there. So it's an effort, I think, to find any argument they can present that puts Albanese and the Labor Party in particular in a negative framework, to say that they're not doing what they should be doing in order to make us feel secure. When in actual fact, what Albanese is attempting to do is more likely to make us secure than what the United States president is ever likely to do, because the US president doesn't want to meet with us, doesn't care about us, but at least the Chinese do. And I think that is the point. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell for further notifications. I love your comments, and I'll be looking forward to seeing what you say. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.